Hey guys, I got a new game to talk about, one that I was very excited from as soon as I saw the first trailer for it. For Honor. This is a sort of third-person action fighting game. I don't really know how to describe it as I haven't played something like this before. It's produced by Ubisoft and it's coming out February 14th. 2017, but Runny got me into the alpha with him, so I was able to play it this weekend. It stops on Sunday. Hopefully beta is going to come out and we'll be able to get more gameplay with more classes and more maps, but it's very fun and I am definitely looking forward to it. So I'll just briefly chat through what I liked, what I didn't like, and some basics about the game to get you guys excited. There's 3 factions. You have the Knights, Vikings, and Samurai. And in the alpha, there's only 2 classes per faction. So the Knights have the Warden, who's the class that I'm playing. It's just a good all-round class. It's the basic default class that it presents you with, so I kind of stuck with that mostly. There's a Conqueror who has a shield and a mace, and that's positioned to be more of a defensive powerhouse. He regains health by blocking, and his abilities and feats are suited to him, like just tanking damage or being slow, tanky character. For the Vikings, the Raider is just a heavy bruiser that wields a huge 2-handed axe. He deals a ton of damage, and he has some really good spacing moves where he'll just start running and then just tackle you and smash you into the wall and stun you. It's cool. He has some unblockable combos that you have to watch out for. The Berserker is a much quicker character with the Viking side, dual wields axes, and this class just plays off of harassment and quick combos where they're chaining multiple attacks together. So you kind of have to block all of them and wait for the right opportunity, but it's just a quick, annoying character. The Samurai has the Kinsei, and that character is just a basic all-around character, but it's a little more advanced than the Warden. Then it has some tougher combos to pull off, some different spacing that you want to be on the lookout for. And then the Orochi, who I think is probably the hardest character to play in the alpha. It's a character that thrives off of parrying moves and dodging moves, so you have to spend more time in the game learning the ins and outs of the system, which I eventually got a good feel for, but I just never really mastered that class. But that class has tons of counterattacks and parries and not stuns, but just ripostes and stuff. But each class has its own feats, which you can see on the bottom left of my screen, these 4 little icons. So your character slowly levels up. You'll get points for capturing objectives or killing minions or other players or reviving your team, just by points. As you get more points, you'll level up. Currently, I have 1 star, so I'm level 1, so I have access to my level 1 feat. And each class has 3 feats at each level. The Warden has 3 level 1 options, 3 level 2 options, etc., etc. And you're able to change those, not mid-battle, but before the battle starts, you're able to change those, and they can really affect the playstyle that you have. So it's cool to see each class getting tons of options as well. I'm excited for just tons more to come. But the first thing I noticed was that the faction doesn't determine what team you're on. I got the impression that the Knights would be fighting the Vikings. There'd be 4 Knights versus 4 Vikings, or 4 Vikings versus 4 Samurai. But that really doesn't matter. You can have Knights and Vikings and Samurai all on the same team. It's just what role you want to play, really. It's not a problem at all. I just envisioned that you would have a team of Knights versus a team of Samurai, but I wanted to mention that. There's 3 game modes available: Duel, Brawl, and Dominion. Duel is a first to 3 1v1 mode. Brawl is a first to 3 2v2 mode. And Dominion is a 4v4 mode, the one I'm playing right now, where you have 3 objectives. A and C are sort of control points that you sit in to capture them, and they'll give you points over time. And the B point is a neutral zone in the middle where waves of AI will continuously spawn, and they'll run into that point almost like a MOBA. They'll meet in the middle, and you as the hero can just wade in and push the enemy wave back. And the further your team is through that line, that's when you get control of the points. So if you're more than halfway, then you control B and you'll get those points. So that's the basic game modes that are in there. And the basic game modes, before you queue up, you also have orders, which is their version of daily challenges and rewards. So just like any other game with dailies, hey, complete 5 Dominion maps and you'll get 200 steel. Steel is their currency to unlock new gear and armor and color schemes and outfits. There's a ton of customization already, not only aesthetic-wise, but gear-wise. So you're able to change the helmet, the spalders, the chest pieces of your character, the hilt, the pommel, the blade of the sword. And those have different stats on them. And the stats can level up. You can fuse equipment together to upgrade it. So there's a lot already in here, and I'm excited to keep my progress saved and to really work on a class and build up a loadout that I like. The basic gameplay is you hold L2 to sort of lock onto a target. It will present you with 3 sort of guard icons in relation to your right stick. You can have a guard up, left, or right. And that guard will determine where your attacks come from, as well as what blocks you'll do. So if I'm in top guard, if I hold L2 and push the right stick to the top, I'll move to top guard. And if I hit R1 or R2, light or heavy attacks, I will initiate those from a top guard stance. So my opponent needs to be in a top guard stance in order to block those moves. So you can kind of see here where I'm fighting this guy that I'm trying to match my guard to his move. I got killed there because I think that last hit is unblockable. But in addition to that, you have parries that you can do. Each class, the Warden class, has a counter and combos and chains that each one has that are unique to that role. R1 is light, R2 is heavy, and each class again has its own chains that are an unblockable combo. The Warden, if I hit 2 R1 attacks, they'll chain and the opponent can't block them. If I hit R1 and then R2, those moves will flow together, meaning I won't stop to like recoil, but they won't chain, so the opponent has time to block. So you really want to be moving your right stick left and right and up to switch your guard mid-swing while you're attacking. And then square is a guard break. So you guard break them, and you can follow it up by pressing square again to throw them, and you point the left stick in a direction. And there's tons of ledges and environmental traps that you can throw people off of, to throw them into spikes or throw them off the map and they'll just fall and die. Or you can throw them, or you can guard break them and then follow it up with R1 or R2 to get some damage in there. If you avoid hits, or you block a lot, or you get hit a lot, you'll build up a revenge meter, and you press triangle to activate your revenge meter, and this sort of knocks back the enemies that are attacking you and puts you into this overdrive state where you deal more damage, and you even have sort of an overshield type effect. And certain classes get different bonuses in that. I think the the Berserker like can't be stunned when he's doing that. The Warden just gets more health and damage. The action is very deliberate, and the moves have weight to it, and you feel like it's almost Dark Souls. You want to know that, hey, I can't initiate a move here because I'll be stuck in this animation, and my opponent can just quickly do a quick attack to stop me from using my heavy attack and stuff me at every point. So it feels good, especially when you bring in the different positioning aspects of the game and the parry aspect of the game, where you're blocking and then you hit R2 right before they hit, and there's a stamina meter in there that drains. There's a ton of factors, and it just seems totally interesting. I played a couple games and I was immediately sold. I was looking forward to this game before it even came out, and I'm super excited for it still. I've been playing this alpha constantly, and I'm very excited to see this game come out. But there were a few problems that I had, some glitches, some bugs. It's in what they're claiming alpha. The game looks pretty well done, not like an alpha state, but I fell through the floor a couple times. The game just doesn't run well yet. It's not very well optimized. The frame rate drops a lot. The netcode isn't that great. But again, these are all just issues that some more polish can definitely work on those. That said, almost as always, I think PC is going to be the best place to play this game, as I think it's just running at 30 FPS, and you're even experiencing frame rate drops at that point. You don't want to play it with the mouse and keyboard because of the guard system and how that relates to the right stick. You really want to play it with a gamepad. But I had a ton of fun with this. Shout outs to Runny again for getting me in the alpha. You'll see him running around with the Ubisoft dev team loadout. So thanks again, and I look forward to putting more out because this was so much fun. I hope you guys check it out. Thanks. Bye.